In this video, we'll teach you how to nail your KPIs and get your team fired up so you can have more of these ones. Hi, I'm Harvey from Inspire. Stay tuned. So I heard this really interesting story about Timbo Reed. He's the small business, big marketing guy. And he was engaged by Flight Centre to be able to, get the phones ringing. And that was his KPI. He's a marketing guy, so he's in the business of lead generation. So, he's fantastic at what he does. So he implemented all these marketing strategies. And guess what? The phone started to ring. KPI achieved. But there was a problem. He started going to the flight centres and seeing that no one was picking up the phones. So we started asking, the managers, or the branch managers of each flight center. And he says, I've been engaged to get the phones ringing, getting all these leads coming through. Why is no one picking up the phone? And the guy responds, well, we're just so busy because we're in the business of customer service. Our KPI is around, spending extra time with our existing customers who are here, making sure we give them a great experience and help them, book in a wonderful holiday. So we simply do not have the time to, answer the phones. So it's really important when you're setting your KPIs to think about A, what are these KPIs, but B, how we can have an alignment of KPIs. Because in that scenario, they had a misalignment of KPIs where the marketing team had their focus and the customer service team had theirs, and there wasn't any alignment between the two. So step one in setting your KPIs is to think about what is the most important thing to your brand. What is your key brand promise? Now think about different scenarios. If you're Uber, your key brand promise is around the experience that it takes to get your client or that person in the car from A to B. So that's how they have a brand promise of a 5-star rating. If you're a company like McDonald's, you're in the game of fast food. So your brand promise is A, around having a delicious food and having a great experience, but it's how fast you can get that food to your client. So think about what your business does, what the brand promise is, and that's your starting point for the end outcome that we need all of our different business segments to be able to deliver on. So once you understand what your brand promise is, the next step in the process is to ensure that there's a holistic involvement with the whole team to be able to identify what are the next best KPIs that each of the business segments are going to achieve or strive towards to be able to achieve this overall brand promise. So you might need to facilitate a brainstorming session, or what we're having this afternoon is outside of the office. We get all of our team out to start brainstorming and thinking about the challenges we're facing and what we're aiming towards. That way, by getting everyone's input, especially the heads of the business units, we're able to find alignment with the KPIs that we're aiming towards. So step number 2 is making sure that everyone's on board with the definition of the KPIs that are going to achieve that end brand promise. Now, once you've got your team alignment on what the top KPIs are to be able to achieve that brand promise, we now need to start measuring these things. So have each of your business unit heads think about what are the measurable outcomes that would ensure that him and that team member are able to achieve their KPIs. Then we'd centralize those measurable goals, and we've got a bit of a rhythm happening within our team about who's doing what and what the priorities are. Once you've got your measurements, now we need to think about the frequency at which we're going to check in to be on track with these. So are we having monthly meetings, are we having weeklies, or daily? Our recommendation is to do all three. Your daily huddles and your daily rhythms will help keep you on track with where the team is and to not get too far off track after a day or two. What does a daily rhythm or daily huddle look like? Well, it's everybody standing around thinking about what their priorities are for the day and answering 3 questions. What are your priorities for the day? What were your successes from the day before? And thirdly, do I need any help or do I need any assistance to be able to get these things done? So you're now in the rhythm of having your team having a quick daily huddle answering those 3 questions. On a weekly basis, we're able to report company-wide as to how we're going with those goals. And every month, we're able to give some feedback and celebration as to what was achieved or have any implication if things weren't achieved. So the third part is really about these team rhythms. Remember, KPIs, if we want to have our team engage with them, have to be an engaging and holistic process. So having these rhythms and having our whole team on board with backing the KPIs is going to be key to having this ongoing. Now the fourth recommendation, but it's really a continuation of this team, is about team celebrations. If we're commonly working towards a goal together as a team, then it's really important that in the beginning we have a bit of a reward that is planned in place for the fulfillment of this. So this might be a dinner out, this might be beers, this might be some sort of surprise that you have planned that are aligned with the values or the theme of what this goal is. So it's really important to make sure that we actually celebrate it when we do hit these wins. Now, if we don't reach our wins, then we want to think about what are the lessons learned? How could we map out the lessons learned and think about them in the process of setting up our next round of KPIs? If you're in business, but you wouldn't say that numbers is really your thing, I'd recommend downloading this ebook, The 5 Numbers That All Business Owners Need to Know. This will give you insight into the 5 numbers that matter most in your business and your life. Where are we high-fiving?
So it'll be like here.
Woohoo!
So you can just stick your hand out. Yeah.
In this video, you're going to learn how to nail your KPIs and get real engagement. So they're not just a list of goals on a spreadsheet. So you can...
Do a normal high five, like.
So you can have more of these ones.
Go back to the big one.
In this video, you'll learn how to nail your KPIs and set your team on fire. Do they really want to be on fire?